Saturday. Happy Saturday. How are y'all doing today? Well, Drake has released a track called What Did I Miss? I guess this is the first insight into what might be the tone of Iceman. And so, what I want to do today is just go through the lyrics and talk about what's there. I have listened to the song, of course. I'm intentionally not playing the song because I don't have time. I'm trying to build this channel. I don't have time to be playing with UMG and strikes and all of that. But the main thing to me is the lyrics anyway. But before I do that, since I did listen to the song a few times, I do want to say off top what I liked. I really did like the beat. I thought the song was decent. He called it episode one in the video. And so I like that. So I'm gonna give him kudos on those three things because this is way better than some of the other foolishness we've heard from him since the beef, like Juan Delilah, yeah, and some other things. But I really did like the fact of him calling this episode one because of what he just went through, just the beating that he took, the L that was like no other L and rap beef. He should have a lot to tell us. And so this Iceman album could really be a really, really good album lyrically. It just depends on where he goes with it, right? And so I'm kind of looking forward to see that. So when I saw episode one, I thought, okay, I love some good storytelling. So maybe that's what he's about to give us. So when I first started listening to the track, he started out with, and let's go ahead and scroll, sorry, down a little bit here so we can get into these lyrics. When I first saw the lyrics and with the opening lines, I don't give a F if you love me, I don't give an F if you like me, I thought to myself, oh, is this about to be more whining? Is this about to be more whining? Because we've seen a lot of that from Drake ever since all of this went on with him and Kendrick. We've seen a lot of whining. We've seen a lot of uh, kind of erratic type behavior, him just spiraling, just like Kendrick said. And so we've seen a lot of that. So when he started out with, I don't care if you like me, I don't give a F if you love me, I'm just like, but you do care because we've seen that in your behavior. So I'm like, okay, where are we going? He says, asking me how did it feel? Can't say it didn't surprise me. Now, when he put that in there, I thought, okay, maybe he's about to tell us something. Maybe he's about to really express what his emotions were because we saw, of course, what we were able to see from some of the antics, when all of this was going on, when he could not accept or receive the loss. We saw the antics, right? So we were able to, even just by observing those antics, we could tell that he was hurt by it, right? And so he said, people asking him, how did it feel? And he said, I can't say it didn't surprise me. He says, last time I looked to my right, you ninjas were standing beside me. All right. Now, let me tell you something and what my take has been on this beef. Even though I'm a diehard Kendrick Lamar fan, this beef to me, beyond the music itself, because just looking at everything that happened with it, right? LeBron showing up at the pop out. Basically, nobody really supporting Drake. At the Grammys, it looked as if the whole industry, like his peers who were there in attendance at this event, everybody was celebrating the downfall of Drake during this beef. And whether people are of the position right now they like Drake or they don't like Drake, that was jarring to me. And I enjoyed seeing Drake get his, whooped during the beef. I enjoyed that part of it. But when it started to look like everybody was piling on, that was a little bit jarring to me. Then he did this whole lawsuit thing, and then I felt like I didn't care anymore. But it was jarring to me because we're talking about the entertainment industry, y'all. And it just should make all of us look side eye if they start raising one person up as the one to hate. So it was just weird. And it also made me feel like, what in the hell did this man do? What did he do that caused this amount of hate? And what could it have been that was so different than what anybody else had done? That was just weird to me. So when he says, last time I looked to my right, you ninjas was standing beside me, I understand how that would be jarring. Because now I'm like, okay, this song is going to be about betrayal. He said, how can some people hang around people who try me? And he doesn't say people, but I'm trying to think about what you two will accept. All right. He said, let's go. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? And when he first said, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Initially, when I was listening to the song, I thought he was coming from the angle of like, I'm back. What did I miss? Like, he's like, nothing really major happened. This is my first serious entry back after the beef with Kendrick Lamar, and nothing really major happened. So, like, what did I miss? Anything happened, y'all? Super Bowl, Gen X tour, Grammys, anything? Pop out tour? What? What is that? What did I miss? But I feel after listening to the song, that was definitely a misinterpretation on my part, because I think the what did I miss throughout this is him saying, how did I not see this? How did I not see that? I'm not talking about only people who were around me to try to get a record or to try to get me on their music or trying to get me to help put them on. I'm talking about the people who I called brothers. I'm talking about the people who were the closest to me. I'm talking about the people who we went on family vacations together. What did I miss? So that when all of this started going down, you went to the other side. I was like, okay, tell your side of this story, because to me, I get that. As a human being, forget how you might feel about Drake. Forget how you might feel about Drake. As a human being, I don't care what this person is, whether he's perceived as a good person, bad person, I like him, I don't like him, or whatever. Everybody has flaws. And those people with those flaws, including us, we have people who are probably in our inner circle. And if stuff went left and those people in your inner circle went to the other side, you can't tell me you would not also feel like, what in the did I miss? So I appreciate him taking this route of like, yeah, this kind of is disturbing because I don't know, like, how did I not see any of this? Okay, so in verse 1, he says, I'm whipping around on like 600 acres. Okay, you ninjas just better not ask for no favors. Okay, so he's again, and we've heard this from him again on what that thing he released about LeBron, and then I think he deleted it. But as talking about, all the things he's done for people. Now, Kendrick's version of what he's quote unquote done for people is about the colonization. Like, did you really do anything for people, or were you actually just trying to extend your like success or your run in this game, where you basically just kind of blood sucking talent out of other places? But Drake is saying, I did a lot for y'all. Did a lot for a lot of you artists. People would not even know who you were if I had not like endorsed your project, got on your project, whatever. I did a lot for y'all. Okay. So he's like, but you know what? After all of this went down, bet not nobody asked me for no favors. No favors. And I can tell with this being episode 1 in his new album, from a storytelling perspective, I like how he's introducing us to whatever this project is going to be. Now we'll see if it holds any kind of continuity as we get more. He says, let's go, let's go, let's go. He said, it's love for my brothers and death to a traitor. Let's go. She might decide to say no to me now, but say yes to me later. Let's go. Okay. Her ass is all natty like Florida Gator. Let's go. Florida basketball team did win the national championship this year. Okay. You switched on the guys and supported a hater. Let's go. What's the okay? All right, let's go back up to where he says, it's love for my brothers and death to a traitor. Well, you got a lot of those, Drake. You got a lot of those. And again, I'm gonna say again, in my opinion, Drake legitimately has a reason to be upset with people who were supposedly down with him, who really took another side. And I don't care what anybody say, because I have done the research, especially as it relates to LeBron. He and LeBron go back. They go back, I mean, way back to the beginning of Drake's career, even near the beginning of LeBron's career. There's a whole video on my channel about their story, about their background, the families getting together. Drake being using LeBron as a confidant when stuff was going on with him and his son and his family stuff. He being right there by LeBron when Bronny had his heart attack and all of that. So I don't care what anybody says. That I know people are like, well, he has a relationship. LeBron has a relationship with Kendrick too. Listen, as far as what was presented to us, okay, as far as what was presented to us, LeBron and Drake had a very tight, long-term relationship where they both referred to each other as brothers. Like I said, there's a whole video on my channel about it with old footage, old video, them playing softball together in Canada, everything. Them calling each other brothers. So, excuse me. So obviously there was a breakdown in the relationship. And I'm going to tell you what I've always speculated about it. I feel like it has something to do with a woman. And that's just speculation on my part. I'm like, because what would make this happen? You're not in the same industry. So it's not as if, Drake did anything like trying to block LeBron's music like what he did to Pusha T. So what happened? What happened to cause this disconnect? Because you're side by side with your children. And then this. And it's weird to me. And I'm sorry. The only thing I could think of is there some kind of issue around some kind of woman? Some kind of woman. Is there an issue around the woman? That's the only conclusion I could reach. And again, that is speculation on my part. All right. So again, he says it's love for my brothers and death to a traitor. She might decide to say no to me now, but say yes to me later. You better, if she, whatever that is, you better follow on the bad before you be up on the Rico. Her ass is all natty like Florida Gator. Let's go. You switched on the guys and supported a hater. Let's go. What's the get back for ninjas? It's TBD. I look at this shit like a BTC. That's Bitcoin. Could be down this week, then I'm up next week. Now, I don't know if that in part is him telling us that far as what has transpired over this time with everything that he has had to go through after he got his ass whooped rather thoroughly by Kendrick, is that it's been a roller coaster ride. And so, see, this is the type of storytelling that I do appreciate. Tell us what it felt like from your vantage point. Keep it real. Keep it real. Not out here just talking about, well, look at my watch, look at my this, look at my Tupac ring. But nah, tell us for real, because we saw it in your antics. We saw that you were losing your shit. We literally saw that. So if you're gonna give us stuff in this album, in part at any rate, because you called this episode 1, where you are really doing some storytelling and being vulnerable about it and still flexing a little bit, because that is what a rapper is supposed to do. I get it. So I like that. He says could be down this week, then I'm up next week, comparing himself to Bitcoin. That's interesting, because I'm sure it has been a roller coaster ride. So he goes back into the chorus of, I don't give a F if you love me. I don't give a F if you like me. Asking me, how did it feel? Can't say it didn't surprise me. Last time I looked to my right, you ninjas were standing beside me. How can some people I love hang around peace who tried me? Let's go. What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Let me tell you something. If you have ever been betrayed by anyone, because see, you can't be betrayed by somebody that you're not in a close relationship with. Now, I don't know, of course, Drake personally. So hopefully he's not talking about people who were just merely associates, right? But when it's somebody that you felt like you built a connection with, a rapport with, only people who are close to you, in my opinion, can betray you, right? And so again, this whole song is about how did I miss? How did I miss that you were capable of betraying me? Or how did I miss that you would so easily betray me? And I would beg everybody, even those of us who are diehard Kendrick fans, because I for sure am, okay? Put that to the side. We're talking about what this person experienced just from on a human level, right? If you were in this man's position and you saw what went down, especially with LeBron, you would be asking, what did I miss? I don't care if everybody out there thought, well, I don't really like her. I don't like her at all. But this girl over here, that's my best friend. That's my ride or die. If she flipped on me, I would be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, what did I miss? Because I knew I thought I knew what we had built in the relationship. So I think that's legit, and I like that Drake is going there. Okay, so on the bridge, he's like, hey, let's go, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. A lot of hey, let's go. Okay, so verse 2, he said, yeah, ninjas get punched in the face on some TLC shit. On the dead guys, some TLC shit, because my nigga, you gonna need a chili ice pack for your left eye. So we all get those references, TLC, left eye with the patch. We all get that. I'm back in your city tonight, walking around with my head high. Now, I don't know what he's alluding to there. I don't know if he's suggesting that he's in LA. I don't know if he's suggesting that if he's in LA. I can't. Well, maybe, maybe. Uh, but okay. Or I know he doesn't mean this, but I'm being a little messy here. When he says I'm back in your city tonight, are you talking about Toronto? Because that was kind of like Kendrick City a few weeks ago. Walking around with my head high. I'm sure he's not talking about Toronto, but that's kind of funny. Okay, he says I saw bro went to pop out with him. Now he's talking about LeBron. He's not talking about anybody else but LeBron. I saw bro went to pop out with them, but been deriding gang since headlines. It feels like nobody's there until you start giving out two tones. Now that I think he's talking about, is it? I think it was a Rolex or something that he gave to LeBron. Um, so I think that's what he's talking about there. And nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone. Y'all been on that type of timing for too long. Okay. So again, like I said, it could be an unpopular opinion, but I have said for a long time, and I still stand on what happened with LeBron and Drake. I don't think we really know what caused the snap in their connection, but there is a long history of a relationship between these two men where they called each other brothers, family spent time together. He was there for Drake was there for LeBron for many things, including when his son had his heart attack. And they were on stage together after that and talking about how much he loved him. That's his brother and all of that. LeBron was there for him when he was going through. Drake was going through things about his son being exposed, and Drake was talking about when his son gets a little bit older, he's going to send him to Uncle Bron's house so LeBron could teach him how to play basketball. And LeBron was like, yeah, send him over, send him over. So I'm trying to tell y'all, forget about how you feel about Drake and the lawsuit and all of that. These men had a relationship that could make Drake say, what the hell you doing over there? What the hell you doing over there? And like I've already shared earlier in this video, what I think may be a part of what may be some of that, because obviously there is a rift. But Drake is legit. for feeling that way about LeBron. Okay, he said, and nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone. Y'all been on, let me stop right there too. And nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone. Now, when this beef was going down and and Drake was getting stomped into the mud, and I'm gonna tell you, I found every little bit of it entertaining. I did. I did. But I would be lying to you if I did not tell you that I did also have the thoughts like somebody needs to check on Drake, like somebody in his circle, whether his mama, his crazy ass daddy, who I think should have just stopped talking about Drake. Because every time somebody would catch him outside and put a mic in his face, he had a lot to say. And sometimes he had stuff to say where I was like, you do know Drake is your son, right? When they ask him, how do you feel about the beef, or how do you feel about people saying, I don't care about that shit? I mean, come on now. You okay, old man? So I was like, I hope somebody's in his circle, because at the end of the day, this is a lot. This was a public, national, international thrashing. Thrashing for someone who I know did not see it coming. And now I'm not talking about the betrayal of friends, because that cuts. And if any of us have experienced that, you know it cuts. Now I'm talking about just, you've been on top of the charts for the past, what, 15 years? And you get into a rap battle, your fault, because you underestimated Kendrick Lamar. You kept trying to, sun him and all of that. You were never on his level lyrically, but you're not chopped liver. And you've out here been on top of the charts for 15 years. So you did not see this coming. You did not see the level of ass woman that you were going to get from Kendrick Lamar. Okay. And so there were times where I thought whoever's in his inner circle needs to check on Drake, because we don't want to turn on the news when all this was really heated. We would not have wanted to turn on the news and see that Drake had done something to himself. Now, there's always going to be people, this is social media. There's always going to be people, even in that situation, that will be trolling and all of that. So I'm not even talking about those people. I'm talking about most of us, even those of us who thoroughly enjoyed seeing him get his ass whooped by Kendrick Lamar, we don't want to see the man hurt himself. Okay. So when he says, and nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone, if something like that had happened to Drake, yes, it would have been all on, oh, he was the greatest. Oh, we hate this. Oh, the tributes. People would have definitely have done that. They would have flipped. They would have started pouring out all this kind of love and all of that, because at that point, he's passed away. He's right on that. And he's right on that as far as how he was feeling in the moment. And nobody cares until they're in front of your tombstone. So again, I like how he's going with episode 1, because I feel like he's going to tell us a story that is baked into what he experienced. We'll see if that holds true. He says, y'all been on that type of timing for too long. Iceman, Tiffany Bluestones. I done made plenty shit right out of 2 wrongs. Oh, I like to play on that. What is it? 2 wrongs don't make a right is what the saying is. But he says, I done made plenty shit right out of 2 wrongs. So Iceman is going to be where we're going to see if you're going to be able to kind of right your ship, Drake. Because it needs to be your album, Iceman. It needs to hit. It needs to hit. And so we're going to see if you're able to make plenty shit right out of 2 wrongs, as you call it. We'll see. Then the bridges, let's go, more let's goes. And then we get into verse 3. He said, what did I miss when I was looking at y'all and cooking with y'all and giving out verses and bookings to y'all, making sure wires were hit? Man, what did I miss? When you was all in my crib looking at holes, word for word at all of the shows. Okay. You always felt like this, man. What did I miss? I feel like he's talking about LeBron again. I feel like for that last part, I feel like he's talking about LeBron again. Again, this third verse. He said, what did I miss? How did I not see the level of betrayal? Because see, at this point, he's not talking about Kendrick. He's talking about the fallout of by the people who he felt betrayed by. He said, "What did I miss when I was looking at y'all and cooking with y'all? We looked like we were all good then." He said, "And giving out verses and bookings to y'all. We were like cool. We were tight, making sure wires were hit. Man, what did I miss?" And I'm assuming wires were hit. I'm assuming that's like sending money or uh support. Okay, yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay, support that he gave to other artists. Okay. And so I definitely see in that verse 3 where he says, making sure wires were hit, man, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss where I did not see this betrayal? Cute. Now that's very different than saying, what did I miss that I didn't see this L that Kendrick was about to give me? How did I underestimate him? Because those are some other questions he might need to be asking himself. But that's not what he's asking in this third verse. In this third verse, he's saying, all of you people who were close to me, who I thought we were like boys, I thought we were good. What did I miss? Because during this time, you all betrayed me. How did I not see that that was a possibility? It's one thing where you have one or two people betray you, but when you feel like you have a multitude of people who were supposedly close to you betray you after an incident, and you're like, what did I miss? That's the whole purpose of the song. What did I miss? How did I not see this betrayal coming? He said, excuse me, when you was all in my crib looking at holes, word for word on all of the shows. Now, y'all, I think he's talking about LeBron. And well, LeBron loves rap music anyway. So word for word at all of the shows. I mean, okay, well, LeBron is a hip hop enthusiast, so he knows a lot of words to a lot of songs. However, in that video that's on my channel that I posted a few months ago about this whole thing between Drake and LeBron, one of the clips in that video is one with LeBron being on stage performing with Drake, and it's when they were both younger, word for word, knowing the songs. And Drake keeps tiptoeing, and although not very quietly, he keeps tiptoeing around what he's alleging to me with LeBron about women and that kind of a thing. What did I miss? Okay. When you was all in my crib looking at holes word for word at all of the shows, what did I miss? So I definitely think Drake is saying something without really straight up saying something. And so it is what it is. Excuse me. He says, you always felt like this, man. What did I miss? And that is the end of the song. So, and long story short for me for this song, pardon me, I don't know what's going on. I like the storytelling of this song, especially when I view it as somewhat of an introduction. He referred to it as episode 1. I think it could be setting the tone very well for what is to come in the Iceman album. We'll see. We'll see. But he is definitely talking about more than anything. He is talking about the betrayal. And some people may listen to this song and they may go straight to, oh, he's saying this about Kendrick. Oh, he did this about Kendrick. That is not primarily what this song is about. I think the only excuse me, negative thing that you might could say is when he said you supported PUSSIES over me. Okay, that maybe. But this song is about how he felt betrayed, and betrayed to such an extent that he found himself asking repeatedly, what did I miss? How did I not see this coming from you or from you? And especially you. What did I miss? All right. So we'll see what the Iceman project has to offer. I'll definitely be checking it out to see. But so far on this one, I'd say this is pretty good by Drake, and I appreciate the storytelling. I want to see what more he has to say, especially if he continues to follow this angle. And we'll see. We will see. Until the next time, bye, y'all.